Hi, I'm DrewMan. Welcome to my modest mansion. Alright guys, so today we're down here in my basement. I want to get this air compressor set up. So I hate these air compressors and how noisy they are. They also just take up space in your shop. So I typically like to remote mount mine somewhere else where it's not going to be in my way or anyone else's way, and where it's not going to be really heard. So I chose to mount mine down here in the basement. Up there on the other side of that wall is the garage, so this should be convenient. So we got to get power over to it, and I'll put a switch in the garage so I can control it on and off from the garage. And we got to get an air line from here up to the garage to the hose reel, and then I'm going to build an enclosure around it. We're going to put some rock wool insulation in there to keep it quiet, because right above us is living space. So we're going to get started on that. So we got our hole drilled up there. That was a bit of a fiasco, but they just don't make drills small enough to fit in these spaces. Got my fish stick in there. This wall does have insulation in it, so that kind of sucks, but it doesn't suck because our house is more efficient, but it sucks for pulling something in. So fish stick is run up, it's hit the top plate, so now we're gonna run up to the attic, take some measurements, we'll drill our hole down from the top, and hopefully we'll be able to see that fish stick in there, and then we'll hook our piping on and pull it up through. Attics are one of my favorite places to be. Check that out, they left us a printer. I should have gone a size bigger. This hole saw is just like an 1/8 inch smaller than the ring here, so you can't go any deeper. If I can grab a hammer or something, smash that out of there. Now we just have the fun of trying to find the end of that fish stick. So this is going about as good as you would expect it to. So I had a coworker, he called this the Medusa head. It's basically just a bunch of loops. Put that on the end of your fish tape, shove her down in the hole, go to the other end, get a hook of some sort. Usually a metal coat hanger works pretty good for that. Make a hook, reach up in there, twist it all around, and you're hopefully gonna pick up one of those loops and pull it out the other end. So. Very rarely do you just push it right through the hole on the other end. This isn't movie magic either. I literally just walked into the basement. Oh gosh. And there it is.
Very rarely do you just push it right through the hole on the other end.
So probably for the past 20 minutes while I was up there tapping that thing up and down trying to get it to fall through the hole, it was already through the hole. All right, let's get the pipe hooked onto there and get it pulled up. So we are using PEX tubing, as you can tell, blue because that's the color I got. I've never gotten a whole spool of this stuff before. I usually get the 20-foot sticks because they're really fun to carry around lows, but we needed more than 20 feet and I didn't want to have a bunch of connections. A lot of you will probably say you can't use PEX, you shouldn't use PEX. It's cheap and it works. That compressor at the old garage I had in there for 5 years, I used PEX for that. That was over 20 feet of PEX and I never had an issue. That's what we're going to use because it's cheap, easy. That's what I like, cheap and easy. But did you guys see how well that Medusa head really worked? I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason it fell right through that hole. My electric tape. Couldn't find my electric tape, so I just grabbed duct tape. You just want to make kind of a cone shape here so that that thing doesn't get hung up on stuff as you pull her up on in. Let's open the attic and hopefully pull that up through. Up here. Hopefully that's enough. We're gonna be going somewhere over in there. Oh, whoa! Missed a couple steps. But planning on hanging the cord reel right kind of between the garage doors, right in the middle of the garage. I figured that'd be the best location. That way, no matter where you are, it's always kind of central. Originally, I was gonna put it right there, but then I put a shelf right there. I was like, well, that's stupid because I can't even use half that shelf. So yes, we're gonna move it, hang it from the ceiling. Cool beans. We got the manifold put up in the garage. It's kind of inconvenient because it's up 10 feet in the air. Yeah, but it'll work. So the way this works is air comes in the top. You got a drip leg here so any moisture can fall down to the bottom and then get released rather than coming in your airline. We got three hookups here that are gonna be full tank pressure. You got a gauge to show you what's in the tank. And then over here we have the regulator. We got 2 regulated ports and then another drain there for a drip leg. Basically the way I do it is I'll have the air hose reel hung up here next to it. Most of the time I just use line pressure, but if I have something where I wanna turn the pressure down a little bit, you just pop it out of there, stick it into one of these and adjust your pressure. So yeah, we got it all hooked up here in the attic. Didn't turn out like super great, but yeah, you can't even see it, but it runs over there and then down to the basement. The only thing that does concern me about this is the heat up here in the attic during the summertime. Might be an issue, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. They do make like PEX 90s that you could like come up in the 90 and 90, but I found that they're pretty restrictive when it comes to air pressure. So it's much better just to make your PEX kind of run smooth, nice sweeping bends, and you'll get a lot better flow out of it. Alright, so the air compressor box is done. It's a little crude. I didn't put much pride into this one, but it's more of a functional thing. But as you can see, we got it all insulated inside with the rock wool. We got both sides and the top up there all insulated. That's more for acoustic stuff, you know, keep the sound down. I'm not too concerned about it overheating. I had this compressor in a setup very similar to this for the past 5 years. I've asked way more of this compressor than I should, and it's been perfectly fine for me. We blew out a bearing a couple months ago, but easy fix, nothing too serious. So, you know, it's an air compressor, so it's constantly sucking air in and pressurizing it, so it's gonna draw fresh air in to cool it off, you know. And we left a strip along the back here, and one that's to get the air hose and the electrical up and out of there, but it also allows somewhere for fresh air to come in. There's also a gap along the bottom because my floor is not level. Now let's kick it on and see how much of a difference it makes. Still need to figure out some sort of latch for the door here, because if I have to take that screw in and out every time, I ain't gonna drain the water out of it ever. So now we just have to get power from that box over there all the way over to this corner. So we got a lot of drilling to do. Alrighty guys, so we got the air compressor all wired in. I ended up running 2 circuits out here, and then the way that this works is this bottom outlet on this left side where the compressor is plugged into, that one is switched. So there's the switch out in the garage, turns power on and off to that, and then these 3 are just on all the time. So if I wanted to put a charger up here or something to plug in, I could, just because you can never have enough outlets in a house. And then another 20 amp circuit out to the garage, and I put 2 receptacles on that. That way I have more than one circuit out in the garage, because right now the only circuit that goes out there also does most of the first floor, and it's 14 gauge wire, and I guess someone got sick of resetting the breaker, so they took out the 15 and they put a 20 in there. Alright guys, so as you just saw, the air compressor system is all done. I don't know if I quite like it, but we can always change things. It should work for us. You know, we got the switch here. That's one thing that would be nice, is some sort of indicator light so that you remember to shut it off before you walk out, because otherwise it's going to kick on at midnight. And it is quiet upstairs, but I probably would sleep right through it, but my wife would probably wake up. The enclosure helped out a ton. Like downstairs it's really not that loud, but you can hear it like throughout the house. You can still hear it from the garage, but it's not like loud at all, which is kind of nice, because if you do have an issue with the compressor and it's running nonstop, you know, it's not building air or something, you'll know before something bad happens. Cord reel hanging here. We got the regulator, air hookups, all that. The only thing that I'd like to change, before I used to have a valve up top there on the air inlet, and so I could shut that off at the end of the day, because this whole system here leaks. These quick connects leak, you know, so there's really no sealing that up. The valve there, you could shut it off and you'd still have pressure in the tank for, you know, if you didn't use it for a couple weeks, you'd still have pressure in the tank. I might in the future add like a 120 volt solenoid downstairs on that PEX line coming off the tank. So that way when you turn the tank on, it opens that valve and supplies pressure to the system up here. That way you're not draining the tank when you're not using it. I would also like to get some sort of automatic tank drain. That way I don't have to worry about that. They do make 120 volt tank drains, and so you can hook it up with the switch, so when you turn it on every 10 minutes or whatever, it'll psh and purge off any water that could be in the tank. I think that would be handy. I'm happy with it. It should work for years to come, hopefully. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave us your comments down below, and have a good day.